It's just gonna happen again. Hello and welcome to the Vergecast, which is sponsored by Scissor Vodka, the vodka brand that I made up last week and that I intend to bring into reality through sheer force of will and repetition on the show. Scissor Vodka, cut through the night.
I can't wait for Scissor Vodka flavors. Pumpkin spice Scissor Vodka.
No.
Yeah.
Scissor Vodka.
It's coming.
Clear,
it's going to be more forward-thinking
crisp.
than pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
Red Bull vodka.
It's just like pre-mixed. That's really sad. I don't know. I think Scissor Vodka is more though. Anyway, buy it.
Yeah,
There's already a Twitter. People have been like tweeting nonstop at me about this.
Someone made a video advertisement for it.
What?
Did you not see that one?
I didn't see that one.
It's like 4 seconds long.
Oh my god. Anyway, hi, I'm Neil Patel. I'm the editor-in-chief of The Verge, the host of this, The Vergecast, the flagship podcast of The Verge. Now, regardless of my clear intent, becoming a YouTube video property. So if you're listening to this in a car, just know that the people are against you. But I'm still with you. Anyway, Dieter's here.
Hi.
I don't know, man. I've been talking all day. I just want to warn the audience. I have literally not stopped talking since 9 this morning.
True.
All day. I had one break. I was telling Nicola this on the way down. I had one break. That was when I went downstairs to order a salad. And in the time I was in the elevator, I stopped talking. But then I had to go and tell the person what I wanted in the food.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, to me, that's still, I'm still talking.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, gonna be loopy. Anyway, Dieter's here. Addie Robertson's here.
Hi.
And Nicola's here.
Hello.
Nicola has a video monitor.
I do.
What's on your video monitor?
This is a surprise to me. I have a video graph of my height matrix that I invented during Dieter's hiatus because I wasn't doing a good enough job hype checking. And now it's been turned into visuals to reward the handful of thousands of people who watch this on YouTube instead of
listening, the hundreds of thousands of people in their car.
Can you guys name the device that's the drab ostentatious?
Oh yeah, what is that thing?
Isn't that Microsoft and Telemouse Explorer 8000?
I saw it on your Twitter.
Ostentatious drab.
Oh yeah, it's a VIA. Dude, come on, it's a VIA UX.
Yeah.
Wow, did you name that mouse?
Yeah, I know what that mouse is. Come on.
Okay, to explain the quadrants in case you're catching up here. Practical drab, our intersection is most computer mice. Please stop tweeting me good-looking computer mice. I haven't seen one yet.
Oh, and please stop tweeting me pictures of good-looking extension cords.
Yeah,
That's like really happening to me a lot. Although, actually, please continue tweeting me pictures of good-looking extension cords.
Ostentatious drab is something Neil I just named that is, I think it's like a computer that's also a sidekick.
No.
Like it flips open.
Dude, that's the VIA UX. Oh, I forgot. Slack somebody to bring my VIA P down.
Oh, man.
That's the VIA UX. So Sony, for this like amazing minute in like 2010, somewhere around there, they decided that the future of PCs was something called the mobile internet device, the MID. It's great. And they would pack full Windows PCs into tiny, insane form factors. So that thing is a Windows 7 PC. It has like a regular Intel chip. It's a computer.
But you can take it with you?
Yeah, I mean,
But
it was
not
like
a
this
laptop.
big. It was huge.
Is it?
It was really small compared to a laptop, but really huge compared to any reasonable thing. And that antenna is the wireless internet antenna. And the screen slid open and revealed a keyboard. And I don't care what and that little rectangle on the side, on the right side, is a mouse. Maybe that's a trackpad.
I love it, personally.
I mean, that thing to me, it was so expensive. It was like $3,000. It served. I could not. Why would you?
What year is this we're talking about?
2010-ish.
Oh, really recently.
Wait, I think I was playing Hitman Blood Money, and it was in 2006 or 2007, and he was using something very like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is like one of those things where, like, before people thought phones were going to be phones, they were like, what will computers look like in the future? And, like, someone at Sony was like, wait, we own a factory. And they, like, made them, right? Like, that's the VIA UX. And they were amazing, completely useless, very slow, but beautiful. Beautiful piece. And then, like, Sony stopped doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, though.
Anyway, whatever.
Should I play a Hitman game? I've never played a Hitman game.
I don't know. Rich has a long defense of them. When I did one mission and it felt great, like I was discovering things and learning things, and now I'm stuck.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want to move on? And the last one is a bottle of champagne.
Yeah, well, that's Ostentation Elegant, and then our iPhone is Practical Elegant.
Yeah. It's a rose
So for
gold,
those of you Ooh, this Dieter face is so good. For those of you who are in the car, now you know.
Okay.
The car is Neli's favorite place to imagine you.
That's where I imagine you. That's where you are.
In Neli.
I'll
I just really want a
I'll
car.
also give a hint to people in the car that Neli is currently Lagerfelding
No, I
an
charged
OG
it. The original
Samsung gear.
Look at this thing. It's a mess.
It's a rectangle.
It's a rectangle. It's got a
I
camera
thought
bump
it
on the
was
side.
I thought it was a proper noun watch from over here.
Well, no, here's what happened. I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you. It's a 5-second story. Our sales team is moving to. All of Vox Media is moving to a new office in a year. Sales team is moving early. Because it's getting bigger. And they're cleaning out their existing part of the office. And one of them walked over and they were like, we did this campaign for Samsung for the original gear and we have it. We're going to throw it away. Do you want it? Because they could not see the value in it. So I took it. And now I'm wearing an original Galaxy gear. And I have to tell you, this is not a good product. But it's hilarious.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wear it for the rest of the day. Anyhow.
Big old wart in your
There's news. Whatever. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
So much news. So much to get through. Addie is here because the VR moment is upon us. In like a
Possibly,
very
yeah.
serious way. Well, I mean, like the hardware shipping.
Yes. Well, not yet. Not for a month.
It's very close.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's close.
it's upon us.
But you've been living in the HTC Vive basically nonstop for the past week.
Yes, except now I'm making everyone else live in it. I
Right.
think Ben was upstairs shooting when I came
So
down.
we set up this room, used to be like a video editing room, and it's a very dark room, but it's basically empty, which worked really well for VR. And every time I walk through the hall of our office, I just like see out of my peripheral vision somebody standing there alone in total silence, flailing their arms around.
Yeah.
And you just like walk over and just watch them for like a minute,
Yeah.
and then you just leave.
and we
Yesterday,
can't tell.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
knows.
yesterday I played a game. Chris Grant, the editor-in-chief Polygon, was in there doing something, and I played a game where I just tried to get my hands as close to his face as I could for a while. You didn't know. That's just a thing. But anyway, the Vive is here. We have a Vive in the office. Addie put up a great piece about it. Oculus shipping in about a month.
Yes,
So like when I say
it's half shipping in a month.
the touch
Half of
controllers.
it is shipping.
Right.
Which the controllers are really the most important part in
Yes.
my estimation, and those aren't shipping yet.
Yes, after a year of downplaying it and saying you didn't need to actually do anything in VR, Oculus now has a thing that's very important and wonderful, and it's not coming out for 6 months.
Yeah. Anyway, but you've got the Vive. Tell us about the Vive.
The Vive is amazing. Vive is the first thing that I've been able to actually like feel like I'm playing games in,
Yeah.
and like I'm not compromising on the games. Like Gear VR, there are fun things, but I'm always like, why am I using this
Yeah.
horrible trackpad? So I just got out of a really amazing game called Budget Cuts, where you're teleporting around and it's a spy game, and so you're like crouching and also flailing and like throwing knives at robots because you pick them
Wow.
up and you have to do this
Why is it called Budget Cuts?
because you're in an office and stealing things.
And
Look, I don't
cutting
know.
people?
Well, yeah, you have knives.
Have you tried any of this yet?
No.
Oh man, you
I haven't
gotta.
been invited to the VR cave.
I
yeah,
can't-
you've invited-
The VR cave is literally like 20 feet away from where you sit.
Yeah.
I know, but no one's invited me in.
We invited the whole staff.
How am I just gonna put it on? Just walk in there and put it
There's
on?
there's
I made a
instructions
guide.
posted on the wall. Addie made them
really?
up. They're great.
You
Yeah.
can just go in whenever you want.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. You just said got out of. I want to get deep into the Vive because I think it's really interesting. I think the HTC Steam, Valve collabo and the reliance on Steam is like a very fascinating thing. But you just said get out of. Are you saying the preferred vocabulary here is get in the VR and get out of the VR?
I don't know. I guess so, because that's what I've been saying probably since Gear VR.
Yeah.
Partly just because it like hurts and is weird in a lot of things, and so it feels like you're escaping from something when you get out of the Gear VR
Yeah.
after a bad session.
You get in, you get out. You don't like put it on. You don't don the VR.
Yeah.
You-
That's a whole thing.
Put on the headset, but no, you got out of a game.
Yeah. This is one of those things. Like this is like a technology and culture moment. Like what words are we gonna use? I don't know.
But I think I'd say that about Fallout. I don't know.
You would say I just got out of Fallout.
Yeah, maybe.
I would say
Got
I
out of a Fallout
stopped playing
session.
Fallout.
It would be more weird, and I'd be less likely to do it.
But that's also because I think Fallout 4 is deeply boring. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I can't handle
I'm
it.
trolling everyone again. Anyway, so the Vive. So just if the people don't know, you don't know.
I don't know.
HTC was a mobile phone company. They were bad at making mobile phones. Yes, bring me. Well, actually, give it to Nicola. Have you seen my pink Viop?
Oh, this was what you bought last week.
Yeah, it's probably the battery's probably way dead. Is that not one of the most beautiful computers ever made?
It's the best.
Also, I was not aware that it's an Argentinian model, so the keyboard is insane.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's all of it. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But the Vive, so HTC blew it in phones. Like they were the apex of the Android market for a minute, and then
They still make the best phones. I still have an HTC phone. I'm really sad.
Yeah. Do they think they make the best phones? I think the 6P is the best Android phone on the market right now.
I mean, maybe not anymore, but when I got the M8, it was like the thing that I wanted. It had great hardware. It was the only thing that looked as good as an iPhone.
Yeah.
No, so okay, I'll give you this. HTC made great hardware, had killer design sense, and they just couldn't. Something went wrong with HTC.
Yeah.
I would say it was their strategy of putting crappy cameras in the phones.
It is bad, although I also had a Nexus phone before that. So
yeah, you're just moving up the curve. Anyway, doesn't matter. Valve partnered with HTC.
Yes.
And the key element of all of this, and the reason Oculus is partnered with Samsung, is you can take the internals of a smartphone, the screen technology, the hardware, there's a camera on the front of the Vive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but okay, so the Vive is weird because it's basically like it's like the VR equivalent of Half-Life 3 if like Half-Life 3 had actually come out. That just for years and years you had the fabled Valve VR room that they had been building this thing for ages. They had this incredibly sophisticated setup that you could walk around in. Brendan Areve of Oculus would say, no, this is the best experience, period. Yeah. It's just not a consumer experience. And then they partnered with HTC and were like, we can release this and mass produce it.
Right. And what HTC brought to the table was we know how to build phones, and many of the components of phones in that supply chain are going to translate into. I mean, it's a screen and a processor, right?
Partly. Although I don't know how much intent to actually attribute to anything Valve does, because after the Steam machines, I don't know what they did there.
Yeah.
That's true. Anyway, but Valve isn't going to start a cell phone, like a manufacturing organization, right? So HTC is manufacturing this thing, but really it is an expression of Valve's R&D. And that product came out, and nobody thought it was going to come out, and beat Oculus to market. And Oculus is partnered obviously with Samsung.
Not for the Rift.
Not for the Rift?
Is Samsung's
building the screens in the Rift.
Yeah, but that's partnered like the way that, I don't know, Apple is partnered with
Samsung.
That's fair. That's totally fair. But I thought the Samsung Oculus screen connection, the display connection, was much tighter.
It probably is because they make the Gear VR.
Yeah.
Right.
But the Oculus is not. The Rift is not a Samsung product the way the Gear VR is.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. Anyhow, but what is surprising about all of this, and I think that is worth exploring, like all of these relationships between the platform providers and the hardware makers, like all of that is endlessly fascinating to me because it's like a new way of doing business. But what is actually interesting is the Vive is out.
Vive.
And it might be... Fuck.
Actually, it's a Vive Pre that we've
Vive
got.
Pre. I keep calling it the Vive because it just looks like Vive to me. I don't know what else to say to you. But the Vive is out. It's one of those words you only read, you rarely say.
I ever tell the story that I didn't know how to pronounce hors d'oeuvres till I was like 22.
What'd you say?
I said it phonetically like it's spelled.
Hors divorce?
I'm not, yep.
Yeah, yeah, seriously, me too.
Well, we're all there. Yeah, what's yours? Do you have one? Think on it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Whoa.
but it might be better than the Oculus, and I think that is very surprising to people.
I think the thing is that it's not that it's better, it's like that they have an actual marketing strategy for once, an actual release strategy for once. Mm-hmm. That Oculus had these amazing controllers and it's shipping its system half finished.
Right.
And then the Vive comes out 5 days later, and I don't think its controllers are as good. But
Really?
I just they're remotes. You hold them like remotes, and the touch controllers you actually hold like you're making a fist.
Right.
And that fits way better with a lot of games. Like if you're holding a gun, if you're like pushing out with your finger. Anyway, it's a matter of taste, but like the room scale thing is a really huge deal. Although most people probably will not be able to take advantage of that.
Can you? What does that mean? The room scale thing.
You can walk around a lot more due to different
with the
technologies.
Vive, you can walk around more.
So the deal with the Vive is that you just put a laser tower in the corner of each room, and you get like 15 by 15 feet. Oculus, right now, I think you'd be able to move a couple steps. You can move more if you put a second camera around because it uses tracking cameras.
Okay. Also,
do you need one laser tower or two? We have two set up.
It comes with two.
Two. Also, laser tower is the coolest phrase.
Yeah.
Technically, they're called lighthouses, but that is less cool than laser tower.
Way less cool.
I mean, they look insane. They're just boxes that shoot. I mean, you can see like the red lenses of the lasers, and it just looks
Have
crazy
you touched
to me.
it?
No.
It vibrates.
What? Why?
Yeah.
What? Why?
Because lasers.
Lasers?
You got to get in there, man.
I gotta.
You got to. Have you done any VR stuff?
No.
What?
What are you doing?
I know. It just doesn't intersect with my life until
Well, you
Sunday.
have Gear
but we'll talk
VR.
about that later.
Gear
Yeah,
VR,
that's true.
cardboard.
Yeah, cardboard I've done, and
I
then
wrote a huge like how to buy a VR guide. That's good.
Yeah. What I want you to do is buy a gaming PC. What does a gaming PC fit on your thing? It's ostentatious.
it's got to be drab ostentatious. I mean, it's really an extra thing to
Oh,
own.
but
it's a really extra purchase.
the problem is
not
it's really
for a lot of people.
A gaming
It's
PC
so
is really
extra.
a gaming PC is really practical though because it's designed so that you can add stuff to it and fix it yourself, and you can also like do Excel spreadsheets on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's practical and ostentatious.
At
Those
the
are
same
two
time.
things.
Is it a PC that you own in addition to other computers, though? Because that to me seems excessive.
I think a proper full-on neon lit water cooled gaming PC fits smack dab in the center of the hype matrix.
It's everything. It's all of it.
It's not elegant.
It's drab and fine.
Well, ours is kind of elegant. The cables are managed very nicely.
Yeah, well, ours is good.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, ours has a light up video card in it.
TC built
Here?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's not like any move to the right. It's more to the center, and then go up to ostentatious.
This is great
It's
radio.
right there. Look, you're in your car. Imagine a square, and then Nicholas
talking
somewhere
like-
close to.
we're
What
talking
are we going to
40
do when you can watch video in your car because they're self-driving?
Yeah, that's a really thing. We're all gonna get.
Well,
motion
this is
sickness.
why Lei TV. What's the Chinese company?
Now they're called Leco.
Leco.
Yeah.
Let go. What is it?
They're like
No, LE
funding
Echo.
self-driving cars.
That it's a
They're trying to
self-driving
help
car that
do
you
that.
could
It's like why does the
mispronounce as
Netflix
let
of
go.
China?
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
LE ECO.
I know, but
Leco.
that's really
yeah.
funny.
No, it's a Chinese company. They put a ton of money into Faraday Future, which is like a self-driving car full of screens, and their whole thing is that you'll get in the car, and then you'll like play Netflix at you,
Right.
or you'll wear a VR headset.
I would wear a VR headset.
Yeah,
If the crash is coming, I don't even want to see it in my peripheral vision.
you just want to be.
I
Somewhere
just bam,
Okay,
gone.
so you can't actually. So VR headsets are really bad in cars, and it's not for the reason you'd think. It's not because you get motion sick.
Huh.
It's because you aren't choosing when you turn.
Oh.
So the way you do it with something like Faraday Future, I assume, is that you'd have it tied to, like, you'd normalize it, like gravity.
Right.
You'd have it tied to the motion of the car, and you would tell it to correct.
Yeah.
Right.
But you can't just do it in a normal car. It really freaks out.
So you wrote you did just write a huge buyer's guide.
Yes.
What would you buy? Should you spend the money on a gaming PC and an Oculus and a gaming PC and a Vive? And I mean, like, is it even the time to do it? I mean, HTC sold how many? Like 15,000 the first second or something.
10 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. The best advice is seriously, like, don't buy anything for the next 3 months. Like, wait until we know when PlayStation VR is coming out. Wait until Oculus touch controllers are going to come out. Wait until we know what games there are. Wait until, the prices of the PCs are only going to get cheaper.
Right.
Like, wait till we know how much everything is.
Is it just me or the Oculus Ready PCs like not wonderful? They just seem like they meet the minimum base spec. They're still pretty expensive and they'll be obsolete real fast.
Wait, like the standard or which one?
The regular Alienware and Dell. There's a third one too. Like they just seem like not great PCs to me.
I don't know. I mean, and anything with those specs is perfectly high end as a PC. Like it would be very good for a gaming PC.
Yeah.
There's ugly, the pre-built ones.
Yeah, they are.
That's the main thing.
I just feel like you could, if you're the sort of person who's going to buy a PC to run the Oculus Rift, you are the sort of person who can spend exactly that amount of money and buy components and build a PC that's way, way better.
Yes, I mean, I think that building your PC is like the absolute ideal solution, but there are people who can't. The main thing is that the people who can't normally would want to buy laptops, and that's difficult, I think, right now.
I mean, but it's not hard to build. I mean,
It's hard to build a laptop. It's very
no,
hard.
it's very hard to build a laptop. I'm saying it's not hard to build a PC. Like,
It's not, but not everybody
component
has the time.
selection is
You can fry it. Like if I have to put together a build, I actually do. I have like the moment of freak out. Like, am I getting all the right components? What if I'm screwing something up?
Right. We should definitely do a guide on the PC that you and TC built.
TZ built that. He put it together in like a day. He said we can take it apart and put it back together and make a video.
We should do that.
He let me hold the processor
Yeah.
briefly.
He very proudly opened the clear cover and showed me the water cooling unit yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a closed system. You don't actually have to add water to it.
Tell me something else about the Vive. Really great question.
They don't have the front-facing camera on yet, but when they do, it's going to be kind of crazy.
Oh yeah, this is like the big key, right? You can explain what that means.
Okay, so there are like two features that are really weird about the Vive, and the first one is that there's a camera in the front, and so if you go outside your like lighthouse space, normally you see a grid, and then if you step outside it with this camera, you'll also just see the real world, except it's all blue. So it's like you get outlines of everything, so you can tell if you're at a chair. You could, like, I don't know, set your drink down.
Wow.
And it's really detailed. Like, it could pick up stripes on my shirt.
Oh, so like you can still like play the game. They just outline the real world for you, just in case you want it.
Right, if you step outside the bounds of the place where you're playing the game.
Right.
And I think you can hit a button to just turn everything on. The other thing that's funny is the phone system, which I can't tell if that's going to be really good or really bad, that you can take phone calls from inside VR.
Why?
So
Why
So
not?
you never have to leave.
Hi, Mom. Yeah.
I'm just jacked in the Matrix.
I mean, to be fair, like, not being able to get any kind of notifications in VR is kind of worrying if you're at work.
Yeah.
Or if you
Why are you
waiting
using
for
VR
anyone
at
to do
work?
something.
I mean, literally it's Addie's job to use VR.
No, but like if you were like a regular person.
I mean, there's a
if you're a
million
designer.
reasons. Yeah.
If you're a designer, you could do VR paint work. There's a VR desktop program that I'm really curious to try, but they haven't sent me a build yet.
Yeah. I mean, if you had like a small office and you put on the headset, you would have a big office. Like, it's like hilarious. Like, you have to try, like, okay, we're not doing a good job of selling this. This thing's fucking amazing, right? Like, you put on the Vive or the Vive if you're French. You put it, like, I think it's better than the Oculus. Like, I've worn the Oculus several times. I've played many Oculus games. I've had the touch controllers. It's very much like the Oculus to me is a demo. Everything about it is like demo world. This thing has like an operating system inside it. It's like basically running Windows, but like Windows is all around you. And you can like play with the Steam store. And then the games, like Addie is saying, are real games where you can like play with them. Yesterday, I just drew smiley faces in fire for like 10 minutes. Because it's amazing.
So
Right
the thing
here-
is partly that like Oculus has a lot of those things. Like if you ever tried Medium in Oculus,
No.
it's a sculpting program that two people can
Oh,
be
I
in
have,
at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah, there's that. The problem is just that it's like everything that's good requires the touch controllers. It's like we can't even talk about the Rift for another however many months.
Yeah, I honestly, I think part of it is every time I try the Oculus, it's in one of their demo booths, which are basically like huge self-contained container rooms.
Yeah, those are like Supermax cells.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
it's what they ship to trade shows, right? And so even at Facebook's office, they're just sitting in the middle of the floor at the office, and they're like these huge boxes. And you go in, and like they're soundproof, and there's a laptop, and there's a very kind person there. Like,
Why are
helping
they
you put the
soundproof?
stuff
Wait.
on.
Why? Like I've been in this. Why is it soundproof? Is it because like people are screaming about what they're seeing in VR and you
No,
don't
it's to
freak
keep
other
the
people
trade
out?
show away from you. They're for trade shows, right? So like
Yeah.
if you're at CES and like the
But
speaker
why-
system company is like, we're gonna shake your butt. Like you don't want
all right,
that
fair.
noise. That's
Yeah.
what you yell at. That's what speaker system companies do. How's your butt? Is it shaking? We're gonna turn it. And like you're in VR, you're like, what's that? But anyway, but it's like it's just a very isolated.
It's dystopian.
It feels very like, like it literally like the woman's like, and now we're gonna take all of your blood out of your body. Like it's just that kind of hushed.
Yeah.
And then the Vive is like in our office. The setup is kind of fucked up. It's a little bit like broken. The lighthouses are like on like light stands.
Laser towers.
They're on like C stands. It's like it's real. It's like in our office and it's real, and you can like play with it, and it works really well.
See, that's why I'm hesitant to criticize the Rift, because I've like when I have one in the office, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Like it's so hard for me to compare something that I've had and am able to play with just for hours and do fun stuff on versus something that I get to see for 5 minutes at a time.
Right.
So, assume that you don't live in New York and therefore you have a house or an apartment with multiple rooms. And if you have those multiple rooms, one of those rooms is what when I was a kid we called it the computer room. Now people just call it a study like normal humans or an office. That's where your PC is. Are people going to want to put the Rift in their living room, or is it going in the computer room?
So it has to have the computer for one thing. So
Right.
you have to either bring your giant gaming PC out to the living room.
Right.
But it's also
But it also you've been saying for a while that like VR seems to work best when you're sitting on a swivel chair, right?
seated VR does. The Vive
Right.
is like anything with motion controllers. Actually, it's like the world's best standing desk. But for anything like the Gear VR cardboard, yeah, you basically have to be at a swivel chair.
Okay.
The other thing that's hard about VR now for the living room is it's not like the Kinect where you can get a bunch of friends and play Dance Central or whatever.
Right.
Like you have to be kind of alone, and you can't have any furniture, and nothing can walk in, and you will fall over anything that is placed there. So you really should just have a VR room.
To me, it sounds like you have a sitting room upstairs, first floor, no screens. Downstairs, you have your room with, the casual living room that has the television, and then in like the unfinished corner aside from the rec room, that's the VR room.
What state did you grow up in?
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
We should have the same names for rooms that we totally don't.
No.
Living room, rec room. That's a thing.
Are
All
rec
right.
rooms like
A
basements?
recreation
Yeah,
room.
rec room is the basement, but
The rec.
Yeah. Well, this is modern recreation.
okay.
Sure. We had no.
And you don't need a yard anymore because you're inside.
Right.
Yeah, you just the house keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you just keep filling it with the warm bodies of humans jacked in the Matrix.
Wow.
I mean, there's
seen
something
the
really
Velp?
dystopian about all of
I mean, I
Well,
think
it's
what's going to happen is we're going to end up we're going to bring back Rumpus Room, and that's what the VR room is going to be called.
Yeah.
Oh god, it is.
Yeah.
Or my friend had a bonus.
people like enormously fat people just bumping into each other. Yeah.
Rumpus Room.
No,
I'm
my
telling
friend's
you.
house, it was a
That's a
bonus
rumpus.
room.
I mean, the problem is that
Chubby
all
people
our
in VR
stories.
headsets. The new definition of rumpus.
It's like a gaggle of geese, a rumpus of fat people.
It's terrible.
I don't know. So Ready Player
But
One,
they
the
have to
idea
be
was
wearing
hamster
the-
balls.
Right.
We spun in hamster
Yeah.
balls. It's funny that this is like our most utopian depiction of VR. It's like the most positive depiction of VR, and it's still set in a horrible world where no one wants to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's funny because if you read it's particularly. I wanted to talk to Eddie about this a lot. Like, if you read the cyberpunk literature of VR,
Cyberpunk literature, yes.
right? Well, you know what I mean. Like, there's like the canon of
Yeah.
There's like Neuromancer and stuff. Like, there's those books.
Yeah.
And it's just clear that the people making the hardware now definitely read those books.
I think I heard that Ready Player One was required reading,
Right.
and
Yeah.
a bunch of people, everybody read Neuromancer, a bunch of other.
Well,
like,
Ready
Runner
Player
Village.
One is like it's very modern compared to those.
It's modern, but it's aspirational. Like
Right.
William Gibson was kind of like, he was a writer. He was describing things that could exist and seeing how they could be interesting. Ernest Cline is like always like he's writing a manual.
Right. Yeah, but I don't know. I just recently read Ready Player One. And
Yeah. It doesn't.
It's just like
quite
deeply.
hold up as well as I hoped. It's good. Don't get
It's
me
a
wrong.
list. It's a long list of things.
Yeah.
It's a list of things tailored exactly for my tastes.
Yeah.
Like, do you like Back to the Future? Here's a Back to the Future scene. Here's a list of things that were in Back to the Future. Did you also like Knight Rider? What about a list of Knight Rider things? Like, it's just that over and it's fine because it's fun and there's like a whole little mystery story, but mostly it's like part of the mystery was solved. And now another list of cool 80s shit.
Yes, a major plot point is being able to recite the entire dialogue of a film
Yeah.
of War Games, I think.
Oh god.
Was
I
it
don't
War
remember.
Games? Yeah.
There's a lot.
And
There's
you
like
had
three
to like
of those.
act it out, and
Yeah.
like it's just the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I don't know. The new Ghostbusters movie seems like it's probably going to be kind of like that, though.
Probably. I mean, like that's the thing. Like, so a major plot point of Ready Player One is they have a name for this kind of thing. Like GDC is coming. Are we going to see VR games that take those concepts from those books and make them real in a way that they've never been able to be real before? Is like an honest question I have. Like, is someone going to build a
Virtual
metaverse?
nostalgia instantiation.
So the VR arcade was, I think, loosely based on Ready Player One. That there's just a giant room full of arcade machines. People have been trying to make these things for like from the very beginning. That was the first thing everybody wanted to do.
Put a screen in VR.
No, not the arcade. It was
Okay,
like,
okay.
how can we make this thing from a book or a
Right.
movie? I think there's like a bunch of cyberpunk stuff. One of my favorite games, which is Darknet, the designer was like, I tried to think about what it would be like to be in Hollywood cyberspace.
Right.
And I made that, and it turned out to look really cool.
I mean, we're just at this moment. I don't think there's ever been a moment where people have been imagining what the product will be like for so long and like skipping ahead of the early stage of the product. Like, I can't think of a single book that's like, here's what the first days of consumer VR were like. Everything is skipped ahead 100 years when it's like, you're a sack of meat in VR and like your body doesn't matter anymore. And like, I'm just really interested to see how the VR designers, how fast they accelerate to like what they think the next thing is instead of building the product for now.
See, that's the thing that's really interesting about stuff like Neuromancer is that it posits a world where this is just an everyday thing, but it's all about people going places and travel and all of the things that people pretend that VR is going to make us stop doing.
Yeah.
Like everyone goes out to physical bars, and you have like you have SimStim, you have the sort of virtual experiences, but everyone still travels.
Right. Well, I mean, the book opens with the guy not being able to do it anymore, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that one to me is like really interesting. But even like Snow Crash is like people are going everywhere all the time.
Which
But-
partly is a book. It was really boring to have a story where nobody ever goes anywhere or does anything.
I don't know. All right. Speaking of going places and doing things, let's talk about building websites with our favorite company, Squarespace. Sorry.
I'm here for it.
I'm trying to
Go.
look. Building a website can be tough, and even if you wait, I'm gonna start over. Ready? Building a website can be tough, and even if you do know your way around coding, creating something that looks good and works well is a time-consuming affair.
How much time?
So much time. The most time. Whether it's for a business site, a portfolio, a restaurant, or whatever else, in this day and age, you probably need a website. Let's just be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror. Do you need a website? You probably
Yes.
do. Yeah. Well, lucky for you, tough guy. Squarespace makes it easy. Squarespace makes it easy to build beautiful websites without breaking a sweat. Squarespace provides simple, powerful, and beautiful websites that look professionally designed regardless of your skill level. No coding required. Not only does Squarespace provide you with intuitive and easy-to-use tools to create your website, Squarespace also has state-of-the-art technology.
Are you still using that?
Yep.
How is that?
Very distracting. That state-of-the-art technology powers your site. It ensures security and stability, and you know you can trust in Squarespace for your website needs when millions of people and some of the most respected brands in the world trust in the Squarespace as well. Addie, tell me about your first website.
I think I got some hosting space on Gorgia.net, my local ISP, and I coded. I think you could still use the blink tag back then.
I mean, you
and-
can use a blink tag now.
Okay, well, but no one would. You can
People
use
have
nuclear.
taste now.
You can use nuclear weapons now.
Squarespace ad getting dark.
So yeah, I coded the whole thing myself.
Yeah, but now you could presumably use Squarespace. I believe that satisfies our personal anecdote requirement. Seriously, you can't beat the ease and simplicity of Squarespace, which no longer has a tagline, I'm being told. Squarespace gives you 24/7 online support and a beautiful, gorgeous, eyes bursting with happiness, gorgeous website. So what are you waiting for? Please start a trial with no credit card required. Start building that website today. When you decide to start up with Squarespace, make sure to use the offer code VERGE to get 10% off your first purchase and show your support for this, the Vergecast, the show that you have been enduring for the past 40 minutes. Thank you, Squarespace, for your support of the show. And remember, it's offer code VERGE. We got through it, guys. We got through the ad.
Nice work.
I think I did a great job. Mm-hmm. I like to compliment myself on that ad read. And I thank Squarespace once again. Dieter, what's on your face?
I
here?
like that I trolled you in the middle of your ad by putting on the Avogant glyph.
that thing to me looks like the Revenge of Beats headphones.
So
Like if there was
I
the
thought that's
ultimate,
what that was.
if you could,
That's good. That's what they're going for.
Yeah.
if you could do the ultimate Beats commercial, it's like, I don't know, it's just like a football player. It's like Aaron Rodgers like wearing the Beats, and like the reporter's like, he threw an interception, and Aaron Rodgers like flips the thing down and starts watching TV in your face.
Alternately, the weirdest.
That's what it's a
Put it
TV.
on his headphones and
Yeah.
show everyone.
So
what it
if you don't know
looks
what they are, they look like a giant ass pair
it.
of headphones.
It's beats you wear on your eyes. That's
And then it
Eye
has little
beats.
LED lights that shine into micro mirrors that
Yeah.
like reflect the image directly into your retinas. So you just put it on and you're staring straight ahead into a 720p screen that could be in 3D if you have 3D content to put in it. And it works with anything that you could plug into it with HDMI. I think they're $500.
I thought there were more than that.
I gotta check.
I'm looking.
They just started shipping. A bunch of people put up a review. We'll have a review of it next week. But I will tell you right now, it's super nerdy.
$700.
$700. It's super nerdy. It's super expensive. You gotta really want them. But if you do, you'll be into them as long as you take the proper time to adjust them for your eyeballs. Because if you don't, everything just feels wrong.
I don't.
You got to adjust the lenses back and forth. You got to adjust them left
we're,
and
We're
right.
pretty close here.
You got to move the nose pad up and down.
Yeah, can you get to a point where it doesn't feel like it's in danger of falling off your face?
Yes.
No, right now it does not feel like it's going to fall off my face, but I think we wrote about this. James Vincent, who just looked at the LG VR headset. Do you want to play with this?
Yeah.
Was like the big problem with the LG one that they just came out at MWC is that it shows the world around you.
Well, that's this. They don't call this a VR headset. They're very explicit that this is like a cinema experience. You could even
it's
plug
just
it
falling off Eddie's face.
You can plug it into a computer, I guess. I mean, I've done it. You can. Well, it's hard to see the corners, but they're like, this is for watching movies or playing games or working on, I don't know, spreadsheets you don't want the person sitting next to you on the plane to see, I guess.
That screen does
this
not
is
look
because
nearly
this
as
is
big as
Virtual
it
Boy
should.
syndrome. That Virtual Boy would have been
Right.
okay if you hadn't called it VR. You called it VR, and everyone expected something that it wasn't.
Right. So the thing about using this, though, I think the longest I've used it at a stretch is probably just under 2 hours. But even people that have used it for like 5 minutes, you take it off and like you forget that this thing is shooting light beams into your eyeball. And so, when you like glance at a light bulb for a little bit too long, or like you like look at the sun for a second and then you like see spots, your entire field of vision becomes that big rectangle of the screen you were staring at. So everything is sort of like behind this weird white haze.
You get the feeling that we're just like totally building hacks that our body is not capable of receiving. It's like these are like IR blasters for your eyes, and like really the answer is just jack something directly into your brain,
Right.
like bypass your shitty eyeballs and go straight in the optic nerve.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been thinking about that with VR a lot.
Yeah.
Of like direct brain interfaces with something like the HoloLens, because the ultimate thing is just modifying your reality.
Right. No, it's just crazy. It's like these are hacks, right? Like we're building all this sensory experience, and we're going through interfaces that were meant for reality. It's like actually really
patching our
interesting to
bodies.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of my friends said to me yesterday, just put my phone in my brain already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to screen cap something that involved reality and also my phone, and was like, oh, I can't. That's not a thing I can do.
This isn't
That's not how a
normal.
screen cap works.
So
I need you to hype.
wanted
I need you to hype
screen cap
matrix this thing.
reality? Did you think about taking a picture of your phone in reality?
What it was is that my nail is painted the same color as the Twitter app, and so when I opened it and my thumb was hovering over the Twitter, it was like camouflage. I was like, ooh, this is cool.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay.
real question though, how do you
Yeah.
take a selfie with a brain computer?
Ooh.
How do you do a video call in VR?
Exactly. I've been wondering about this with HoloLens for ages.
Oh, right,
'cause
because they're
there's
always
Skype
showing
built in.
Skype.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just gonna look like an idiot.
Yep.
This is why they have like game studios.
One person can see you. You
No,
just
but they always do it
POV.
with like a Kinect camera on the wall, and that's what it broadcasts.
Is you in the HoloLens?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, there's a real.
I don't know.
How do you? This is why they keep doing the demo of the Kinect mapping your face onto.
See, I think that they would reconstruct your face, maybe from you'd scan your face, reconstruct it, and then project you into whatever your eyes were taking a picture of. I don't know. It'd be hard.
Yeah, but there's just something there. There's something deeply creepy and bad about that, right?
Or you could just implant a camera in your arm. That's my own
Just
like
stand
favorite
out with
thing.
your arm pointing out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
do
don't
that.
know.
What's going to happen at GDC this year?
Lots of VR apparently.
Yeah,
I
okay.
went through the schedule and it usually like there are all the sort of normal things that are going to be really fun. There's a game design challenge where you're supposed to build a game that you play over the course of 30 years.
Whoa.
Like
The boyhood of games.
yes. Well, a few years ago it was like a game. It was the last game on Earth, and there was Jason Rohr's game that was buried out in the desert somewhere. And
Right.
he didn't know the rules. So there's always that thing. That's going to be fun in GDC, but a lot of it's VR. Sony has a VR event where we're probably going to learn how much PlayStation VR costs.
This is the thing that's going to make me buy a PS4.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to buy a PS4 regardless. I've decided.
Well, my
because
Xbox is-
PlayStation View is better than Sling TV.
No. And my Xbox One is just turned into the crashiest piece of garbage with the new dashboard.
Yeah.
The dashboard quits behind my games. So it like errors out behind my games all the time
Wow.
now. And then the games start glitching as the dashboard restarts. It's the most annoying thing. And you're like, oh, the game's screwing up. I'll just go to the dashboard and come back. And
Yeah.
then push the button, the dashboard's crashed.
Like, I'm gonna go buy a PS4 on my way home tonight because I've been testing this glyph out on the Xbox, and I want to
Yeah.
get 3D on the PS4.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. Anyway, so
Anyway.
PlayStation VR.
PlayStation VR, Oculus has a bunch of stuff throughout the early part of the show. So there were VR, like in VR building versions of game editors like Unreal that were announced a few weeks ago, and they're going to show up at GDC.
Yeah.
So if you want to build game levels inside virtual reality by like walking around inside the game levels,
Oh, that makes sense.
which it either makes sense or it doesn't make sense. Like that WYSIWYG isn't the way that everybody wants to do everything. That like sometimes you want to play with, like, you want to mess with numbers and you want to type things and you want to be
Right.
able to do things very precisely.
Yeah, but
instead
you
of,
also
like,
want to
moving them around.
democratize the tool, right? I mean, like, if nobody knows what the stuff is going to be, then you've got to democratize the tool in the way you would, right?
But
Like,
I'm just
WYSIWYG
not
is like a
sure-
democratizing.
I'm not sure if this is ultimately democratizing, though, because, like, it's not that much harder to look at a model in Unity and spin it around with your mouse than to get in there and physically move it with a controller.
Right.
Like, the idea is that you're supposed to be able to do things like see scale,
Yeah.
which could be useful, and I think something that just let you pop in and out would be really interesting, because that's what people are doing already. But it's hard to say whether you want to actually build a level inside VR.
You know what they need is a VR headset where the screen flips up so you can actually pop in and out with, like, because it's
No,
really
but
hard
the
to
Gear
pop
VR
up.
has
the
a
pass-through
button
camera's
you
gonna
can
be.
hit for a pass-through camera.
Yeah, but you're not going to sit at a computer, like, coding a thing and then hit, like, through the pass-through. Like,
I did that.
oh my.
I can't read the screen, though, because the camera's...
Right.
I will say this. This is the Addie, and I don't mean this to sound weird. This is the longest I've looked at your face in, like, months. And Addie sits, like, right across from me.
It's been, like, weeks.
Weeks. I mean, she's had a VR headset on her face nonstop for weeks. But you add a number of weeks together, you get months. So
Well, I have, like, 10 cardboards on my desk right now.
yeah, it's like, I mean, Addie is. I just say this, like, the deepest in the VR game of almost any reporter I know, and like just always. The other night I was in the office super late, and I was walking out, and it was just Addie, just clicking around in VR. And she was just playing Fruit Ninja,
Yeah, for
just
a long
making some
time.
noise in there, just doing it.
Having fun.
Yeah, like you do. We gotta talk about the next thing because there's
You
another.
want to talk
do you want
Phantom or Echo?
Do you want
or-
to talk about 5 seconds about Tango and your theory about Tango?
Oh, so my theory about Tango is that for VR to work, you need laser towers or an external camera to have it be really immersive, and that's called, Addie told me this, outside in, but that what everybody really wants is inside out, where the thing on your face itself is able to map the room around you. And it turns out that there are already Android devices that do that. It's Project Tango. We tried it last year at Google I/O. There's a Lenovo phone shipping this summer that's going to have it built in. There's a Qualcomm reference phone. And everybody knows that Google just put a guy named Clay Bavor in charge of this a whole new VR division, and he's really good at his job. And so we're expecting Google to finally get into the VR game in a very real way. And it seems to me like they've already got all the pieces they need to build a VR thing that lives in between the mid-range Gear VR and the high-end Oculus stuff. The Wall Street Journal says that they're making a standalone thing, and then there's also like they might make one that has the cameras on it, and then you can stick a phone in it. So my theory is they'll make a standalone VR headset, whatever, and it'll be relatively cheap. But they'll also make it a slightly cheaper one. I don't know, call it $150, where it has the Tango cameras in it.
Yeah.
And then you plug your Android phone into it, and then you get the like spatial movement and recognition that you get out of a high-end VR headset, but without the external cameras, and it'll work off of an Android phone running
Right.
the next version of Android, which is N,
Yeah.
which
Nutella.
is Nugget.
Nugget? Nougat.
Nougat.
Yeah. Nougat's the name of Lauren Good's cat, so
Yeah.
I think we're all betting on Nougat. That makes sense. It makes sense to you?
Yeah, I think that's super smart. I think all-in-ones are a bit of a more complicated proposition. Like, all the ones I've ever seen have been terrible.
Right.
And you have a phone, like, why not put it in?
Well,
so
I mean-
if something would use any Android phone,
Yeah.
any new one, would be amazing.
Well, I think they have to sell an all-in-one because in order for this to work, I think they need Android N, and it's going to take a while for that to get out there. So the only thing it would work with are Nexus phones for a while anyway. So they may as like if they could like make one of these for relatively cheap. Like,
But they couldn't. It would be
could pull
way
out-
more expensive.
Well, no, they pull out the cellular phone processor. They'd make it external storage, so they don't need to put a ton of storage into it, so that would bring the price down. They'd basically just bring the price down on like all the standard phone junk that you usually need. They could buy a cheap, big, huge battery because it's already strapped to your face. They don't need to like spend a lot of engineering work to like make all the components really thin.
Yeah.
They don't need to spend a ton of engineering work and spend all the money to make everything really small and fit compactly. I don't know. I
so you're
actually,
talking about something that has, like, an external pack, and then you connect it.
no, I think it would all fit in there. Just like when you engineer a phone, you got to make everything tiny and small. But when you engineer a headset, you've got like a little more room to play with. I don't know.
Really don't. It makes it really heavy.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think they were going to make a standalone, but the Wall Street Journal does. So like I'm just guessing based on what the Wall Street Journal said.
No, I think they could be, but I think it's like more of a reference design thing. I don't know. I
That
think
makes
it could be
sense.
like
It is Google I/O.
Yeah.
Like they got to get it out there so that developers know how to code to it,
Yeah.
which they've been doing already with Tango.
But who knows? You could be right. I'm not sure.
We got to get Nicola to try all these things.
I gotta try all these things.
You're missing out.
Yeah, come up to the Vive afterwards.
Yes, afterwards, and you should write about it.
You have a fish out of water like first experience story right here.
The
Right
thing
here.
is, you'll be in the water because there's an ocean experience in VR. So you'll be a fish out of water in the water.
Did you see that Magic
Let's do
Leap whale
this.
thing?
Which one?
There was like the demo of like the people in the high school gym, and they're all like presumably all wearing Magic Leaps, and like the whale, like a blue whale, like jumps out of the basketball court and like splashes down.
Wasn't that another like early promo material when they got invested in by Google?
I just saw it was all over yesterday.
But yeah.
It was like one of those things. Like it was one of those things where it just re-popped up in my Facebook feed.
I'm very skeptical of Magic Leap.
They do make a lot of insane promises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. All right, we got to talk about Amazon. Then I'm going to read an ad, and then we got a lightning round. Then we're going to wrap this up. Amazon.
Two products that they announced today. One is called the Amazon Tap, which is a Bluetooth speaker, portable Bluetooth speaker, but it's basically an Echo that you could like pick up and walk around with. It's $130, and you can't just bark at it from across the room. You got to push the button to make it work. And nobody seems that excited about it compared to the other thing I announced, but I don't care about one because I need a new Bluetooth speaker because my Jambox is just falling, doesn't make noises anymore. Its battery lasts about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So I just need a Bluetooth speaker. And the thing that sold me on the Amazon Tap, I kid you not, is it comes with a little circular dock. So instead of like plugging in a USB thing, I can just like set it on the dock.
Yeah, and then anytime you go anywhere and you want to charge it, you got to take your little circle.
No,
dock
it also
with you.
has a USB plug.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Bezos.
right? But it also does all the Echo stuff. So as long as it has Wi-Fi, you can like pick it up. So like imagine having a Bluetooth speaker. That's nice to have. It's nice to like carry out to your deck or like into a room where you don't have a speaker or whatever. But instead of like pairing your phone to it and then getting your music that way, you just pick it up and tell it to play some Spotify.
What's the reasoning behind not being able to yell at it?
Yeah.
Oh, because it was battery life. In order to like have the omnidirectional six microphone array and like have them listening all the time, like that is not cheap in power wise.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to like have it kill the battery. So that's why you got to hit push button. If you want to be able to yell at this thing from across the room, they also released the Echo Dot, which is an Amazon Echo, but like lop off the top of it and just keep that.
Yeah.
And then you can plug it into a speaker. It also has a tiny little speaker on its own if you like want to like hear something
For an
quiet,
alarm clock,
for
yeah.
like an alarm clock. And that is really cool, except Amazon made it so you can only buy
No,
it.
you can buy it online. People have been tweeting me.
Well, there's a hack.
Yeah, there's ways to jump through.
Yeah, their
hoops.
intention was you're only supposed to be able to buy it if you already have an Echo or a
Yeah.
Fire TV.
I'm gonna go out and buy one just because I have an Echo.
But why?
I don't know. I mean, I buy everything.
I am furious because today is the day that at 8 in the morning I bought an Echo.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
You
Wait,
bought
why
an
are you
Echo
serious?
literally an hour before they announced
before-
new Echoes.
It was like, and then I
No,
came
but you
here.
bought the right Echo. You definitely bought the right one. You don't want
I
the
really
fucking
feel-
dot. You don't want the
You
this
don't
Bluetooth
think
speaker
so?
where you gotta push the button is stupid.
No,
Yeah.
but the dot seems like for me.
Do you have
Why?
a speaker to plug it into?
Yeah.
That's on all the time.
No.
Oh,
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, good. Because the thing is that the regular Echo's on back order.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's only one place you can get it. This is so weird. I can't get the thing I want.
Yeah.
And
You could buy one on eBay. I'm
Nicola
sure.
problems.
That's true.
I can't get the thing I
I
want.
can't get the thing I want. And so I bought it this morning, and then I came in and found this out, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. No, it's the dot is a fascinating product.
Product.
I was going to say problem. A fascinating problem. No one knows the answer to is if they all talk to each other.
Oh, so
Because the thing that you want is to buy like 50 dots and put them all over your house and have Jarvis, right? Where you're just talking and
Right.
stuff's listening to you all.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not clear to me that, like my, New York City apartment, it's like not huge, but presumably I could put a dot in my bedroom and have the regular Echo in the kitchen.
How far away can you yell at it from?
pretty
So
far.
I can talk to the Alexa in my kitchen if the door's open and I'm like I talk loudly, it can hear me,
Yeah.
right?
But like, how far is that?
About as far as you can talk to like a person that's like mildly hard of hearing. Like as far away as you can talk to me, basically.
So if I was
like
getting
if
ready
I
in the
could hear you,
bathroom,
Alexa could hear you.
I could
No,
like poke
farther
my
than
head
that.
out and be like, "Hey, what's the weather?"
Yeah.
Right, it's
You
like
can do
a
that.
really good thing. Like that multi-directional microphone array is very good.
I know
So
exactly.
the other
where I'm
thing
gonna
that you
put
can
it.
do, actually, you can talk to it really far away. If you host a podcast and you yell,
God.
"Alexa, buy a dot,"
We just
then
ruined everyone's
across
life.
the country, somebody who's listening to it on a speaker is scrambling to cancel the order I just made for them.
I'm sorry, but look. But so here's what I don't know: and I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
If you have two of them and they can both hear you,
Which one?
do they both just start answering? Do they both just start independently playing random Spotify
Or does
playlists?
one know it's
why
the
don't
primary?
Why don't you just take the review unit Echo we have home, set them next to each other, and see?
Well, no, because those didn't talk to each other. But if you release more, and
They gotta figure it out.
particularly
Yeah.
the Dot, which is designed to be small, like that's how you get an ecosystem of things. Like,
Right.
and it's just no one knows the answer to this question, and Amazon has apparently been.
They have to. If they make you own an Echo to buy an Echo Dot, they have to have figured that out.
Which is an insane thing because you're asking the older robot for the newer robot.
Right.
Because you're going to get rid of the older robot.
You're not going to get because the new robot doesn't have a speaker.
Yeah.
It's so mean.
It's like asking it to have a friend.
I think they just have limited supply and they're doing something clever.
Yeah, of course.
That's the deal.
It's a gimmick, right? And everyone's gonna do it. They're gonna say, Alexa, buy a Dot.
Someone sent me the Dot link
Because
today, and I was like, "Oh,
you just
great!
want to.
This is great. I'll just cancel the other one." And I kept scrolling all down the whole page. I was like, "All right, I got this video. Okay, it's scrolling. I was like, "Where's the buying button? I don't get it."
I like how only Dieter got the troll that I just deeply trolled everybody with.
I got it.
Yeah.
I missed
No
it.
one else. I just said it again.
Wait, the dot by a dot? Yeah.
Yeah. Patty, don't
Hey, I didn't say Alexa. I didn't say
By a
Simon
dot.
Says.
We're so bad. What? Okay, Google. Sorry. Okay, Google. Play Hotel California.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is
More of that.
mean.
That's not mean.
That
That's
is
just
super
what you
mean.
expect from this show now. Is the Eagles will play us out. So we've been talking about Alexa on the show. The
A
Echo,
bunch.
a lot
Yeah,
lately.
and Lauren Go just put up a really great piece about it.
So is this? Do they just accident into this? Are they,
Yes.
Is this actually an ecosystem for them, or is
It will be. I
Or is
think that-
Apple just going to put out one of these things and kill them?
They could, except Apple is never going to be as open and friendly to third-party developers for Siri as Amazon has had to be with Alexa. The headline for Lauren's story is like their smartphone flop was the best thing that happened to Alexa. Their smartphone failed completely. They had this assistant they wanted to do something with. They made the Echo, and they needed it to kind of work. They needed people to buy it and be interested in it. So they had no choice but to make it super easy and super popular for anybody to make it do stuff, to add those skills to it. So
Right.
they added if this and that. They made it popular with nerds. Nobody was expecting it to do anything. And so the fact that it was successful at all meant that it looks like a huge success. Like if they had sold as many Fire phones as they have sold Amazon Echoes, we would all be making fun of it. Right? We'd all be like, oh, this thing that's got like 0.5% market share, it's a failure. But this doesn't have to compete with phones. This just has to compete with literally nothing.
Right.
And so it ends up being a success. And so now they've got like a good storyline to build on. They've got good, like, warm feelings from consumers and developers. And so they can continue to build out this ecosystem and like make these things interoperate. Like, the other thing that came out today is Nest is like, yeah, sure, whatever. Go ahead, Alexa, you can control my Nest. I don't care.
Right.
We're not going to like wait for Google to figure it out, our parent company.
But that's not googly to keep anything locked away. But I will say, so I know what you're talking about, because there's a really great Mark Bergen piece at Recode.
Yes.
Where he was like, Nest just said fine, and Amazon can be the intermediary before. Because Nest is a smart home company. They're supposed to be the ones building this stuff.
Yep.
And there's this really great, it's anonymous, but I trust Mark, it's well sourced, quote where it's like, having a Google device in your house that is always listening to you would be too creepy. So Google is like, we need to like separate ourselves from the Nest product. Because would you like let a Google speaker that listened to you all the time into your home? Like, I think people like,
Yeah, it freaks people out.
Well, you have your phone, but yeah.
well, yeah, but like the phone isn't always listening in a way that Alexa is, like really deep. Like Alexa does creepy, always listening shit. Like,
So does Google. Okay, Google.
play Hotel.
Hey, Siri.
Yeah. The Hey Siri never works. That shit just
Yeah.
doesn't work. Hey Siri.
Wow.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah. Well,
It is-
on the 6P, okay, Google doesn't work either.
Yeah.
So.
But I think that's actually a thing. Like, and that's why I think this Echo Bluetooth speaker kind of gets it wrong, right? Because if you're gonna press a button, you might as well press the button on your phone.
Yeah. I don't know. Like
the secret to the Echo is that it demands nothing of you. You
Right.
plug it in and it's just there.
But this is why I like the Bluetooth speaker version of it. The Tap is the thing that I hate. One of the reasons I don't listen to music is I'm not in the room where my good speaker is, and I don't want to pull up my phone, open up Bluetooth, pair it to the thing, make sure the thing is on and ready to be paired to and fully charged, then go open to Spotify and then pick my music. If I could just pick up a speaker and say play me some music and set the damn thing down, I'm gonna listen to music all the time.
Oh.
What?
I just figured out that that's the use case for it. Oh.
Yeah, it's a music stick. It's a thing you can pick up and command to play Spotify at you.
But can't you do that with your phone?
Yeah, but this is a louder speaker.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it in my room.
Now I'm gonna buy one.
I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna carry it into the bathroom when I take a shower. I'm gonna have it play NPR in the morning, and then I'll set it back on its little dock. I don't have to re-plug it back in to make sure it's charged. I'm telling you, this is the better one.
But don't you have a regular Echo? So
yeah,
isn't the main
but I'm not gonna put the
problem-
regular Echo in the bathroom. I'm not a monster.
No, but you pick up the thing, you're walking out of wherever it's charging, you push the button, you're play some NPR, and the regular Echo hears you.
Yeah.
And then everything starts playing. They need to know.
Maybe all the Echoes, whichever
only different
Echo hears
names.
it loudest. Oh, they only Oh,
right?
yes.
So right now you can call one Amazon. They have multiple names for them.
I think
you can use Echo.
Yep.
You can use Amazon.
I
you can
don't
use
think
Alexa.
you can use Echo.
You can use Echo.
You can use Echo now. Okay.
Yeah. So that's 3. But you need more names. What we need is luxurious names for a voice activated product.
Call mine Horatio.
Yeah, right. You need to be able to specify name.
No, wait, I'm calling mine Yorick.
This is the new baby name.
No, wait, I'm calling mine
2016. The new baby name.
Only names from
indicator.
Hamlet.
Wait, why
For some
can't you name
reason-
your Echo? Why can't you pick the
You
name
just
now?
can't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you should be able to literally set any repeatable noise.
Mine
as a
is
trigger for
Jared.
Alexa.
I don't know why.
Well, no,
Jared?
I think
I
that
have no
I think
idea.
that the
It just
reason
is.
is that
It's a real fuckboy
they have to
name.
they have to really test what the computer is able to understand in multiple situations. So apparently, when Google was choosing its phrase, they went through a bunch of ideas before they landed on OK Google, because OK Google is really easy for a computer to recognize from afar.
Because a lot of phones just recognize that shit. Hey Siri still doesn't work.
Hey Siri does not. Do you have it on?
Of course I have it on.
Hey Siri.
Anyway, are you gonna buy one of these, Addie?
Why?
I've just spent the past 20 minutes
No, I
trying to
don't
tell
have a
you
speaker
why.
system. I have I can shout to anything in my apartment, and there are only interesting things in one room of my apartment.
Right.
I guess I could have something for my kitchen because that's the only thing that's really separated.
That's
that
where
wanna
I
be
keep.
in.
That's where I keep mine.
But
It's-
why wouldn't I just use headphones?
Oh, it wants me to reset
Oh.
up Hey Siri. All right, well we're clearly not doing this here.
Yeah. You know what time it is?
This is the time to.
It's money time. It's way past money time.
Is that hair on your face, Dieter?
Yes, it is.
You should shave it off.
I will. How will I do that?
Using a Harry's razor. Guys, everybody knows good things come in sets of 3. What does this have to do with anything? Here's some words that explain that. Get this, March is the 3rd month of the year, and it also happens to be our friends over at Harry's 3rd anniversary.
And today is March 3rd.
If you're new to Harry's, I got a special deal for you. Try 3 of their expertly crafted 5-blade German razors. Should have cut it down to 3 for this promotion.
No, but if
you want 5.
if you buy, okay, never mind.
Look, whatever. You sign up for Harry's. You get 3 5-blade German razors. You get a handle. You get shaving cream. Costs $10. Dieter. Although I've seen Dieter without a beard. I'm not sure that I...
Look, I got rid of the glasses. Everybody freaked out, but now no one talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
The next step is to shave the face,
Yes, and then you're...
and then I will look 12 again, which is how I ought to look. Can't wait.
So I haven't shaved my face in easily 5 years. But when I did, it was a Harry's man.
Oh yeah.
That was 5 years ago. They only turned 3. You just said it.
Ooh,
No, but there was a
busted.
time when I regularly shaved, and that was a Harry's man.
I really like the
But I
Harry's.
haven't,
I like their
been in that
face scrub
zone.
personally.
Huh?
I really like the
I
Harry's
can't believe you
face
just
scrub.
called out my ad thing.
No, I genuinely
I'm
like
trying
the
to make
face
this
scrub.
money, Nicola.
No, I like their face scrub. I like the face scrub that Harry's
What do you like?
makes. The face scrub.
Right, and you think people should sign up for Harry's and buy this face scrub?
Yeah,
there a tagline?
add it to your cart. I don't know.
Anyway, it was a good shave. They actually make great razors. You should try the products. You should just get into it. Harry's is the only shaving company that has both amazing quality and low prices. They're German-engineered 5-blade cartridges. You get a close, comfortable shave. There's no cuts or burns. There's a face scrub that is fucking excellent from what I can tell. And the quality is guaranteed. And there's a full refund if you're not happy. And the prices are low, right? It's direct from the factory. There's no middleman. It ships right to your door. The blades are half the price of the leading brand. Leading brand, also garbage quality, in my opinion. Over 1 million guys have already made the switch. Nicola, at least one lady, scrubbing her face.
Yeah.
And thousands more switch every day. So, why pay $32 for an 8-pack of blades when you can get them for half the price at Harry's.com? Harry's starter set, amazing deal. For $15, you get a razor, you get a moisturizing shave cream, you get 3 razor blades. Harry's doesn't discount, the prices are already low, but it's the Vergecast, so there's a deal for you. You get $5 off your first order with promo code VERGE, that's VERGE. Stop overpaying for a great shave. Go to Harry's.com right now, that's HARRYS.com, and enter. What's that offer code?
VERGE.
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 And buy some face scrub.
Get the face scrub.
Get in there. What? It's you know, it's for you. Harry's. It's for you.
Harry's, motherfucker.
You know, we get a lot of notes about the ad reads and how they're not good.
Mm-hmm.
From who?
Everybody.
Just like people.
Literally everybody.
People who wish they had ads in their
People who
podcasts.
breathe.
But, I mean, people know that, I mean, whatever. But you listen to them because you want to see exactly when I'm going to drive this truck directly off the bridge. Right? You want to know when that 18-wheeler is about to just careen off the bridge, hit the ground, explode into a million pieces, and then explode again.
The big
Harry's.
storyline is like, do they come back? Will Harry's come back?
They all come back. What was that one cloud services company? They started like
God.
tweeting at me. They were so happy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, cloud layer, motherfuckers. I mean, it's got a ring.
Yeah. That was a free ad. See, they're going to come back now.
You have an amazing future in advertising.
I do not. because of the journalism. But no, whatever. Harry's is great. Squarespace, my favorite. If you were going to start a website about shaving, it would be a website on Squarespace. We should connect the Harry's people with Squarespace people.
They should know each other.
Offer code VERGE, everybody. 10%
Hey,
off.
We're gonna have a-
Derek.
Yeah.
Hey, Cortana.
Derek?
He
You
just
named
tweeted
it
at me.
Derek?
No, there's a guy named Derek who's mad that we trolled Siri, we trolled Google, we trolled Alexa. We haven't trolled Cortana yet. So, hey, Cortana.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Derek, I hope you're happy.
You're welcome.
I'm going to name my Alexa Derek.
Jared and Derek.
That's what I want. Jared and Derek are literally the worst names for your
They're
intelligent
such
assistants.
dicks. I really avoid
Hey,
them.
but they were best friends in their frat. Okay?
Yeah, they are.
They
Jared
were.
and Derek.
Don't be so mean to her. All right.
Don't you wish you looked good in white jeans? Derek and Jared don't. They're guys who wear white jeans. That's all I'm
Ew,
saying.
I think they have backwards baseball hats, but they're like not cool baseball hats.
But they will play Spotify for you at the drop of a hat. Sorry.
Anyway,
Why would you give them those names?
I don't know. It just came to me. You gotta go with your gut.
What would you name yours? If you
I already told you. Fortinbras.
Horatio. Oh my God. Addie.
No, wait. Rosencrantz. No, wait. Guildenstern.
Well, presumably you'd have two, and they would argue.
Right. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Definitely.
I mean, I'd have to name mine like Neuromancer then or something. Wintermute.
Oh, there you go.
And then they would argue.
Yeah.
But wouldn't one have to subsume the other at some point?
Yeah, but then they'd form a gigantic sort of quasi voodoo entity that would control the entire internet. And
It's
then,
really unclear what happens at the end of that book, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll try the third book. It took me like 5 reads to be able to half explain that plot of Mona Lisa Overdrive.
All right, I'll try it. I just read Seven Eves.
Oh, yeah, I
yeah.
got through like 50 pages of that.
Oh, you gave up on it?
My
don't
hold in the
blame you.
library
Yeah.
expired.
Did you finish it?
Yeah,
It's rough.
it's real long.
Yeah.
It's very long.
No, it's very long, and then there's like an extra little tiny book that's terrible added at the very end.
Yeah, but that tiny little extra book is like kind of the whole point.
Yeah, I know.
Like you could cut out
Wait, can I
easily.
skip to that book then?
Yeah, no.
I mean, you
Kinda,
really,
maybe.
you really could. You could read You could read the first chapter.
You could read the first like 200 pages and the last 50 pages.
No. You got to read some middle pages. So you can read the first 20 pages. I'm not going to spoil anything. These are literally the first words of the book. the moon blew up unexpectedly without warning. You're like,
Yeah, no,
I
that's
got
the part
it.
I got to.
Yeah, you're like I promise you I did not spoil anything. They're the first words of the book. You read through that. You read through the part where they like understand. Then you like skip way ahead to the end of that piece, and then you like read the little book at the end. And then all of the
There's some good stuff in the middle.
yeah, but it's like
No,
you know, like
there's some
Game of
stuff.
Thrones is like just a series of bad
Dinners.
things happening. A series of dinners.
It's just all dinners.
That's my new show pitch for HBO. It's like a series of dinners interspersed with murders. So here's what I'm thinking. It's a bunch of hip New Yorkers, and they have dinner every so often.
Uh-huh.
But in
That's
between the
extremely
dinners,
in
between the they eat at their
It's
desk every day.
fantasy.
It's a bunch of hip New Yorkers eating at their desks. Every now and again, they discuss dinner, but don't know where to go, so they don't go anywhere. Every couple episodes,
pull up an eater heat
half of
map.
them die. That's the whole show. New Yorkers are all constantly being introduced and telling jokes until they too die. Anyway, so Seven Eves is like, read that first part, then there's like a revelation that you should like know
There's
about.
some like cool like space survival stuff in the middle that is a bummer to miss, but it takes it's like 15% of the middle 800 pages is good.
Can somebody just make me a guide of like which pages of Seven Eves I should read? And
But then I'd have to read it again.
You really are. I read it on my Kindle and I literally thought, I'm going to wear out this button because I've turned so many pages on the Kindle.
See, I think I would have actually been better with the physical book because then I could have at least felt like the
You're
physical
making progress.
passage
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it.
Yeah, you know how on a Kindle it like tells you percentage of the book and time left?
Yep.
It's
I have
like,
a Nook.
oh, right, so it does. So it tells you, like, it tries to guess how fast you read, but it doesn't, in Seven Eves, it doesn't take account for skimming endless technical description. So it, like, keeps on getting it wrong. It's like, you have 2 minutes left. And it's like, no, dude,
No.
I definitely just blew past the last 5
No, the
pages.
worst part about that Kindle stuff is like I read books that have lots of footnotes, and so it's like you are 30% through the book. I'm like, oh god, this is gonna be. Oh, wait, I'm done. What happened?
Oh, see, I account for that.
Oh, so do you like check to see where the footnotes start?
No, I figure out the tone of the book, and I'm like, how many footnotes is this book gonna have?
All right, we got to do lightning round, and we got to wrap this up.
All right.
Let's start with this. There was a VR fashion show.
No, it hasn't happened yet. It's on Sunday.
Okay.
Balenciaga has a brand new designer, and they have decided to stream their fashion show in virtual reality. It's in
Ooh.
Paris, so it'll be in New York. I will be awake at 5:30 a.m. watching it on my humble Google Cardboard.
Why are you watching the cardboard when we have 10,000 better headsets to watch it on?
I don't think you
Yo.
can watch it on the Vive.
We can watch it probably in a Gear VR.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
Do I have that at my house at 5:30 in the morning on Sunday?
I mean, the
You
Gear,
can.
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna watch it on
We
a
got,
Anyways,
we
lightning
got
round.
better shit now.
different
Anyway.
options. But it's kind of, I mean, it's obviously like a splashy move. They're like, ooh, we got a new designer, and we're gonna do this thing because no one else has streamed in VR their fashion show.
Yeah.
But Addie
They've
tells
not done
me
it live. They've
Not
streamed
live.
non-live.
But then it's streaming and live. Don't you have to be
No.
live?
No.
No, it's like streaming like Netflix.
Oh,
Like Daredevil
yeah,
is
yeah,
not
yeah.
live,
Okay.
I think.
Oh my
That'd be
God.
amazing. All right, get in the hallway again, everybody. We're just gonna. That really explains
Okay,
the acting.
live
though.
streaming.
Oh.
If Daredevil was live, that would 100% explain the acting.
Anyway, it's
Just like
peak.
super lazy. Anyway,
This fashion show is-
Murdoch, don't hurt anybody. Oh God. Sorry. I'm sorry, Nicole. Go ahead.
Wow. She's real mad at you.
Well, it's been. Go ahead. This is your show.
No, I'm done. I said everything I need to say.
No, you haven't. Clearly.
I'm done.
All right, we're fighting. We both drank a bucket of wine. And now we're getting into it.
Drank half of my bucket.
All right, Kanye's new album is called TurboGrafx 16.
Sounds real nut art.
Yeah, but I'm into it. If there's a reason The Verge exists, it's for a major rapper to name his console after 80s
Yeah.
or 90s game consoles.
Yeah.
Name his album after.
I bet their price is just way up on eBay.
Scott Kelly is back from Earth.
Yay.
Back
Apparently
to
he's
Earth.
taller.
He's
He's
taller
taller and
and he's a little
younger,
younger.
and
You should-
I'm going to space.
Yeah, NBA players like, I gotta go to space.
I mean, technically it makes you weaker because it's just stretching out your spine and it comes back and you get shorter. Because I was really disappointed when I found that out.
Microsoft's Astoria project put.
I have so many feelings about this.
Go ahead.
I don't think I can fit them all in the lightning
Just
round.
explain what Astoria is. And then
So
have one
it was their
feeling.
project so that Android apps could work on Windows Phone and possibly Windows 10. It was named after the neighborhood that I live in, and so of course it was doomed from the start.
Yeah.
Actually, I
really likes your neighborhood.
really like Astoria. Also, why can nobody make Android work on desktops except for that one company?
Remix OS.
Remix OS.
I gotta say, I bought this Pink 5OP and I love the hardware so much, and it fills me with joy. And Chrome OS is so slow.
Well, on that thing.
Well, it's because the graphics card isn't supported.
Yeah, I'm doing my my old MacBook Pro 15, like one of the ones that had the last CD drives. I'm switching it to Chrome OS.
Yeah. Joanna did a black MacBook and she loves it.
Yeah.
What else we got here? iPad Pro 9.7.
Apparently they're going to call it an iPad Pro instead of like iPad Air 3 or whatever. And that means it's going to have a pencil. Apparently it's going to have a better screen for reflection. And they're also going to call the new iPhone, the iPhone SE instead of putting a 5
But it's still
in
going to
there.
be small.
It's still
How
gonna
do
be
you feel
small.
about a small
the only
phone?
phone.
We've been over this.
Well, just do it. It's a lightning round.
I don't care.
Strike.
I mean, it's fine, but it won't. It's not for me. I love my 6 Plus.
I can't wait.
Addy, Xbox console upgrades, which to me sounds like a very bad idea.
I mean, yeah, I really don't know why you would still buy an Xbox.
Yeah.
You can play Oculus on it.
You can play Quantum Break. We just found out more about Quantum Break.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah.
All right. I mean, whatever. Any thoughts on the Apple legal case, the FBI case, which to me, by the way, still the most important story in tech, but I just can't talk about it any more than I've been talking about it already.
No, it is absolutely major, and the problem is that it's kind of like the election, that I'm not sure I want to know what everyone else thinks about it.
Yeah.
Yo, that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's one for you.
Oh, God.
Supercars at the Geneva Auto Show. All the supercars were there. Every single one.
Bugatti Chiron's beautiful. I agree with Chris that the new Lambo is like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should watch the snap. Well, I guess it's over, but we had great snaps from the auto show. Phil Esposito, adorable, went around supercars, super good. I don't know. I think there's like a lot to be said about cars that don't all look the same and have different kinds of engines in them.
Yeah.
And like every time I think about the Apple car, it's like
Did you see
they're kind of betting on the same thing as the iPhone, which is everyone will standardize around one thing. But I don't think cars look the same way.
You see that? I forget the Hyundai car. You see the story about this?
The Ioniq?
The Ioniq.
Yeah.
It's like you can buy it as a hybrid. You could buy it as an electric that you can replace a battery. You could buy it as this other thing. We'll do whatever. It doesn't matter. Buy this.
It's a real Samsung of cars.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. No, it's neat.
Modular. It's like it's the LG G5 of cars.
Here, it's got a camera grip. It's terrible. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Is that it? Lightning
Sure.
round over. Make a lightning sound. Do you have any lightning round items for us?
Lightning doesn't make sound. Thunder does.
Well, if they're related, though, technically, I mean...
Lightning, it's the same thing. Just
Maybe.
one comes to you later.
I'm just saying.
The thunder is the sound of the light.
What's a lightning sound?
Thunder.
Oh.
You,
I think
really?
Dieter's point was
Is there,
right
is
then.
there
Really?
a single
No, I
cause
think
of
what
noise you
Dieter-
can refer to?
You guys don't understand. You see the lightning and then you
think what-
hear the thunder later because
Yeah,
it's
but
the
it's
same.
not a lightning sound. It's the sound of thunder.
I mean, we can all agree that my point still stands
It's the
because
same
words
thing.
and concepts don't make noise. Mouths and things in the world do.
They're
Technically,
the
your mouth
same
isn't making the noise,
thing.
they're
right?
not
Oh,
really,
right. It's the
though.
vibration of the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the lightning itself doesn't make the noise. It's the disruption
Yes,
it causes to
listen
the air
to
around
the air, everyone. That's it. Look, this is a Vergecast. I'm not actually speaking right now. I'm just causing the air to vibrate in your car.
it. Yo, buddy, you just got actually
By who?
me.
No, I did. It's the same thing.
If you'd like to follow us,
Oh my god. Please tweet at Backline and explain to him that thunder is the sound of lightning.
no, thunder is the word that represents the sound of lightning.
It's later.
It's the same
What's up?
thing.
No, the
No,
word
it's
is not identical with
not.
the concept
They
it
wouldn't
represents.
be
This is
separate
Semiotics
words
101, brother.
and things if they were the same. Then they wouldn't have separate definitions. No.
No, this is just because people, like old-timey people, didn't understand that light and sound traveled at different speeds. So you see the lightning first because
Yeah.
light travels way faster,
Yeah.
and then you hear the
How
sound
can you
it
hear a
made.
thing that you see, Neeli? Explain that to me.
I'm seeing you right now. Wish I wasn't hearing you. Sorry,
Only
that
Dieter
was just
can be
like
more like
that was
thunder
like-
lightning.
It's
All right, this has to be over.
the same thing.
Follow us on Twitter. We're
my
at
God.
Verge, which shouldn't be a surprise to you, given how
Given the fact that
disastrous
you've
the last
endured
few
this
minutes have been.
hour and a half.
We're also on Snapchat. If you missed the Geneva Auto Show snaps, I'm very sorry, but there are more awesome snaps coming. We are Verge there. We're also on Instagram, also The Verge. It's pretty consistent. We're also on iTunes. It's itunes.com/The Verge, where you'll find a ton of podcasts, including What's Tech, Control-Alt-Delete, and Verge ESP. And there's also Rico's got a couple of podcasts you should check out too. You can follow us on YouTube. That's cool to do.
Verge.
Yeah, subscribe there. I am Backlon. Neil is Reckless. Addie is the Dextriarchy.
Yeah.
Is that the right way to say that?
Yeah, that is.
Sweet. And Nicola is Nicola Fumo with an underscore
Between my first and last names.
right in there.
It's the same.
Let's all go try the Vive.
Rock and roll.
We're going to put Nickel in a VR headset. Goodbye.
Bye.